What is up, the YouTube? Don't know why I said that. A little bit excited. Anyway, coming straight into the farms there, the mushroom farms, and they are doing well. That is our food source for now. Over on this left-hand side, this cold biome, I am ripping out for extension purposes. Taking out the biomes in their solid form, or in their full form, is the easiest way to micromanage where you put the resources. Any liquefiables, I think the word is that they use, or any ices, basically, I am storing there at the bottom. And with that, it means I can make sure that they're not melting in the places that I don't want them to. Now, likely I will move that storage to a place where I want to warm up. Though the whole transferring of temperatures don't work very well in this game. It's a bit slow. It does work, but it's just slower than you would expect. Obviously, you chuck ice in a cold area, you'd expect it to melt straight away. The ice from this doesn't, especially if it is in a container. So, with the applied science up and running, and that is the third level. I know I've mentioned that a lot, sorry, but for those of you that are new, I'm hoping it helps. This is the third level, the yellow research, as you can see on the research table here. So the first one I'm going to take is this. Now, this does give you the steam generator, which is OP. Well, when you've got steam, obviously. And also the solar panels, which are decent if you get to the surface. But that's not what I'm doing it for. I am doing it for the thermostatic generator. That generator is one of the mods. And basically, it just turns heat into energy. The reason I'm going for that is twofold. One is that we've used it a lot and it's very good. But more importantly, number two is that I'm going to try and use it as a cooling aid. So put it in a room that gets too hot, i.e. the incubators or even the refinery when I get there. And it will turn that heat into power. Eventually, it will cool the room down. Now, it is very powerful in terms of how much heat it consumes. So I don't expect it to give as much power, but what it will do is keep the rooms cool. And that is what I am hoping will work. Also, if we unlock when we unlock the volcanoes for the golden stuff, if I can make it so that it won't melt because it's too hot, it will of course cool those rooms down and give us the solid materials instead of the liquids that we can't use. Meanwhile, we're going to dig. This guy is suffocating because they are idiots, and honestly, there is a mod installed to make them dig smarter. Somehow he's managed to dig the floor out from underneath him, fall into the hole, and now I need to get people to come and rescue him. Will they be there on time? Answers on a postcard, send them to P.O. Box 69. That's a joke, don't do that. It doesn't exist. But let's see what happens. Even setting things at level 10, he is ignoring them. And, of course, you can see what's about to happen here. Hassan is what I like to call, the technical term for it, and I'm patenting it, is dead as dicks. Yes. Hassan is dead as dicks. His fault. He was digging out the wrong thing there. You saw that yourselves. I saw that certainly because I was pausing it and stressing out about it. For whatever reason, he went for the level 8 digging as opposed to the level 10 ladders, and the resources, before anyone questions it, were the ones that were on the floor. So he could reach them, and everybody can build ladders. It's not a skilled operation. So I'll be honest, he deserved it. If he's that daft, then you know what? I'll make him a memorial to be buried in somewhere in the centaur, so everybody can come visit. In fact, that's probably going to use what the center is for now. I'm hoping I'm not going to kill this many people, duplicants, but who knows? If they're that stupid, even with a mod that makes them smarter, then I'm not going to hold my breath, which is a really bad joke because he died because he ran out of breath. Anyway. We've got the thing down so he can be buried and we can move on with our lives. Rest in peace. I forgot your name. That's harsh. Never mind. Over at the water processing plant, we can see we are making progress here. The water tank is full, the clean water tank, that is. So I'll chuck down another one there and get that piped in so we have additional. We knew we was going to need that because we have so much polluted water in the backlog and we want to get it all cleaned ASAP. I'm not planning on using the polluted water for growing the reed fibers because we have the Dracos. And to my knowledge, off the top of my head, certainly now as I'm recording this or as I'm voicing over this, I don't think there is a crop that I need it for. Though, to be honest, it's not hard to get because it's just poo water, right? And everybody poos every day. Actually, they poo 3 times a day because I've said it that way. In regards to the chest for the liquefiables, there it is. I've just set it as level 10 to make sure that every single bit of ice from every single place we have on the map is escorted over here, and it's looking good. So we've cleared that up. Anything now in there, of course that chest will be very cold and unlikely that anything will melt, but should it melt it will fall into that ditch and we won't make too much of a mess in the... There's a body there. That's terrible. Hassan's just fell off the cliff and he's in the ditch. We need to fetch him so we can bury him. That's just cruel. I need to fix that. But in the meantime, I am going over now to the next area I want to go to get the final critter to our farm ranch setup. And it's just ranch, not farm. Are the poke shells. Now remember, the poke shells are they're basically crabs. Fighting them for food will end poorly for you. They do fight back, and they are no joke. More importantly, though, when they lay eggs, they are aggressive immediately, regardless of if you attack them or not. So to farm them, make sure your duplicates don't go in until... I've just realised there's no grooming station in those buildings. That's terrible. Right, I'll fix that. I've only just noticed it looking at this, so I don't know how far ahead I am, but there should be a grooming station in every single room to make them extra happy. Anyway, the poke shells, yeah, so when they drop their eggs, their roe, they will attack on site. So make sure you get some sort of shipping set up in place that will pick up the eggs and take them away immediately, because if there are no eggs, they will be docile. If there are eggs, they will be aggressive. Simple mechanics. And they basically hatch as a baby and shed twice, I believe, with the shells. A small shell. I'm not sure if it's a small, medium, or large. If it's 2 smalls and a large. Or it might just be a small and a large. Anyway, they shed the shells. You can't take the shell off them, so you can't use like the Dracos where you keep harvesting them. They shed their shells and then they die. So you have to keep breeding them to get them. But we do need the lime for the steel. Again... The steel process is coming after I've figured out if this cooling system will work or not. You can see actually the power station there, the 9 generators are way hot. That's about 80 degrees, 75, 80 degrees there. And the incubator room as well. So we need to cool both of those down. The incubator room I might cheese with that cold biome and just put some gas pipes through it. That should work. But for the generators, there's too much heat produced by them. So I will, of course, need to do that better. Also... the coal, 14 tons, or 14.4 tons to be exact, that will run out. We don't have infinite coal, so we need a better solution. What that solution is, I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go along. Obviously, any requests or ideas are welcome. Any challenges even are welcome also. And very simple piping here, but don't make the mistake I'm making. This is radiant pipe that I'm using now. You don't want to use radiant pipe here. You should only use radiant pipe in the areas where you actually want the transfer to take place. The yellow gold looking pipe that you can see that's already been built is radiant, and that is wrong. That needs to be insulated, and that is what I'm going to fix now. All you do then is create a closed loop of the gases that just basically go round and round and round. You will need to use one of the bridges to push it in a direction, otherwise it will just sit still, and then that will continue to cool the area, i.e. the incubator room, but also warm up this area, which will do us 2 favours, because this area is too cold to do anything with at the minute anyway, which is why I am purposely leaving the abyssalite there with the doors, because I don't want this cold to get into my base. So instead I am going to slowly warm it up by using the incubator room as the heating source. So that is done, and you can see there is a gas moving around in there. I used hydrogen because it's the best for transferring. You can see a bridge there as well, which makes it flow in a direction. It doesn't really matter what direction, but a direction nevertheless. And then I put in 6 of the temp shift plates. There's another one of our shiny Dracos. No, they are not shiny Dracos. They are smooth hatchlings. And they are the monsters that will eat... Oh, I've put the... yeah, okay, never mind. I noticed. The grooming stations are in now. So that little beauty there will eat ore, whether it be copper, gold, iron, anything at all. And it'll crap out the refined ore without throwing off heat. Bonus. So this area, you can see it's working already. Actually, the cold is making it in there. There is a bit of green, so that process is working. It will be slow, but it will work. And the room is automatic anyway. The incubator room, if it gets above 60 degrees, it all stops. Down here now, we need to dig a lot of this out. I could do with also capping off the... What's it called? The vacuum area that I put around the farms. I could really do with capping that off. And all of this needs to be ripped out. I need to start making progress. But to be honest, I need a lot more duplicants. Or I can cheese it by using the sweepers to do the work for me. So messy it may be, but that is the plan. We're going to rip out all of the biome you can see there with the scaffolding structures in place that should, and I'm doing air quotes here, should allow us to be able to reach all of that. I'm going to rip this out as well. Luckily, over the time, this fossil has dropped in temperature. It's only about 30 or 40 degrees now. So we can dig in there too. And then digging in there means we can take out all of this. This cold biome up above, I will leave alone. So that top section of abyssalite I will leave. But all of this I want to rip out. That pajama building thing, I am going to just deconstruct. I'm not interested in doing that in this series. Anybody that wants to see that, please do let me know, and I can do that on the next series maybe. But what I'm interested in for this series is the lab side of the projects. So the whole sideways asteroid and the building that way. The fossils I'm going to do because they're in the way and it allows me to move them. Also, when you finish them and you move them, because of the move tool, they are very good at providing decor. 25 decor, I think it is, per. And it'll be nice to have them in the paths to show that we've achieved something. So we'll go for that. As we look and wait for people to come down here now, I have made it difficult on myself because there isn't much gas down here. I've took most of it out. So the duplicates are going to struggle. They'll be able to do it, but they'll have to keep holding the breaths, running back, holding the breaths, running back. It looks like that guy there, Travoldo, is going to be struggling. So, in fact, he already is struggling. He's suffocating. Instead of building the ladder, though, look, he's killing that. Honestly, just honestly. I mean, I know that attacking is ahead on the priorities, but this is life and death, right? So I've stopped them from going to the bathroom because that's where they're running to. They're now going to come back. All we need to do is get at least 2 of these ladders built and he should be okay. Though he has found some polluted oxygen there anyway, so he should be fine. The temperature in the 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐃 farms is going up quite swiftly. So I will be ripping them out shortly. By ripping them out, I mean the farms out because they're not going to grow anymore. The top farm, as you can see with the glossy 𝐑𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐃, is already stopping. And replacing them for the feeders. And then on the right hand side there you can see I've actually got, there was 2 farms of mealwood. I'm going to increase the farms there and I'm going to grow mealwood just for the 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐃s. I believe on the consumables I have already turned it off. If I haven't, I will be doing shortly. There is another poke shell there I can capture. Now capturing them doesn't make them aggressive. You're safe to capture them. I've never known them attack. You'll see this happen right now. It's very quick. Captured and off. It's very warm in there as well, but that is a warm biome, which is what they're used to. You can morph the poke shells as well. You can, if you put them in water, they turn into a liquid variant, and you can have stone and wood variants, but I'm after the lime. Another one there as well. But actually what I'm after is more ranchers. We need more and more ranchers because we have a lot of critters to look after. Remember, our farms are up to 40 in each, and we have, I think it's 6, right? 2 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐃s, 2 hatchers, the shine bugs, and the 6, and the poke shells. So that's, what's that? 240 critters. I think maximum. That's a lot. That's a lot of grooming. Let's put it that way. So we need to pay attention to that and make sure that we don't overdo it. Now what I'm doing now is looking for coal because, as I mentioned earlier, we had 14 tons. We've now only got 6. It's dropping quick. Coal is pink. So all of these pink areas you can see are coal. Now, getting these, I know for a fact this is I can see just by the actual plants that are in there that's chlorine. But it's fine, because this open area is what I'm ripping open anyway, and I'll just get the pumps to pump that out. Eventually, I'm going to try and rip out the entire asteroid altogether, but I'm doing it in stages because I don't want it to get too messy. Also, you don't want to open up areas that are too hot or too cold. This is some algae as well. Now, we're okay with algae. To be honest, this is probably the best I've ever done with algae, but I need to get the coal anyway, so we might as well get that as well to make sure we're stocked up. It doesn't go off, so it's not a problem. This is the gold biome that I was talking about. We need to try and get one of our generators in there to cool that down if it'll work. If it does, it'll be brilliant, because cooling the really hot stuff down in this game has always been quite awkward. The steam generator is the go-to for any YouTube tutorial or series you've watched. You've seen me do it too. It is very simple. Once you've got the hang of it, you basically just use the generator to take the steam. So you put liquid in the hot area, the temperature rises to the water turns to steam, the steam goes through the generator and gives you power. That energy then transfers into the power, and the steam cools down back to a liquid and drops back in, and rinse and repeat, and eventually you cool the temperature down. The thermostatic generators, on the other hand, you just place them down. There's no complications. The only complication, actually, is that if they get too hot. Because if they get too cold, they just stop working. That's not a problem, because the whole point is to cool it down. So we'll have a look. This guy, obviously, is a quest that we can do, but for now, he's going to get buried, because you can see we've ripped out all of that ground now and capped off that. And as I have been waffling on there, we did actually jump ahead, and hopefully at the time there was a pop-up to show you that. It says one lifetime later. I don't know. It was about half an hour to an hour. I'm not sure. You put everybody on it, they're pretty quick actually. Now these liquids are falling down. This cold biome I have left mostly on purpose because the liquid is melting the ice, which is turning the liquid to a better temperature. When the liquid is less than 30 degrees, I'll get a pump in there and put it into our system. While it's above 30 degrees, I'm not doing that, because all it's going to do is cause our base to go too warm as well. I had a problem over here as well with power. I lost all of my power because no one was filling up the generators, because I'd set everybody to dig. So we also get rid of any bleach stone we can, and slime or whatever it is that will off gas will keep in there for now. Anyway, you can actually build a sealed one of those. I have a mod, but I just haven't got around to it yet. But it's looking good so far. This amount of room we've dug out is significant. Of course, what I'm using it for, I have got no idea. The farm itself, we can extend up or down. Likely up is the answer. But what I do need to do very soon is start getting some actual gas masks in place, so that the duplicants, when they go into the farms and stuff, they're not suffering by suffocating. There is a second door though. At the bottom you can see I've already put a gas mask thing there. Yeah, with them two. There's literally one there that's disabled. But there's a door up the top as well. So I'll either need to do both of those, or I will have to just close off that top one. And that is why these hatches are down here, because the duplicants are running out of oxygen before they get a chance to do the job they're supposed to do. This person's running up the ladder. They go in and put them in there, that's fine. But if you get somebody that's already half on their oxygen, as soon as they run out of oxygen and decide to run to somewhere to survive, they will drop anything they are carrying. It's just how the game works. So that's why they're always left there. So I could just fill it full of oxygen, I suppose, but there's many ways about it, but I'd rather not, because I'm trying to do the whole temperature control thing much better than before. We do need you. You are a plastic making Draco, so you don't get eaten. Any loose Dracos that are for the reed fibers, the original Dracos, they'll be eaten. And I think I've got too many shine bugs. One's in chat if I've got too many shine bugs. So most I've ever had, and I'm farming them for a reason that I haven't even got close to doing yet, because I've not even built a hospital. And I think the eggs do go off after a bit, so that's a waste. But at least the process is there, and we'll now get these gas masks in. The problem is, though, I do not have the oxygen set up for these yet. I think what I would rather do is electrolysis and get the oxygen from that way, allowing the base to survive on the algae. So I'm getting oxygen from 2 sources, which means it should last not twice as long, but certainly longer than using 1 resource only for everything. Now I can put a... Oh, congratulations, there we got an achievement. I can put a pump in the base and tell it to pump out until it gets down to, and then set a value, which is what I'm probably going to do for now. The value will be, say, 1,500 grams per square. That's more than enough for people to be healthy, but also enough that it looks healthy in the base. Anything less than 1,000 grams can get a bit squeaky, and when you get down to 500 grams, people will struggle to breathe even with the oxygen. So with that water melting and warming up the areas as I wanted it, you can see there is an overview of where we're at and how much space we have made over this episode, and this is where I'm going to end it because we are at time. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more, like if you like. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.